In this screencast, we're going to explore a real example using a stated data set. So section 12.4 uses an Excel file, and it talks about the relationship between education and wages. We're going to talk about the relationship between education and hours worked, and we're going to use a data file. But we're going to do very much what it says in section 12.4. We're going to explore an actual example of the two-box model. We'll use samples from two populations to make inferences about the difference between two population averages. In other words, we're going to take the sample averages and draw conclusions about the difference between the population averages. So, and this will involve a hypothesis test, but first we want to talk about the research question. So our question is a little bit different from what we have here. It's is there a relationship between the amount of education people have and the number of hours they work? Okay, so let's talk about our data, and to do that we're going to first look at our IPUMS extract. What we did is we went and got information on education, on weeks worked last year, and on usual hours worked per week last year. This data comes from the March 2013 CPS. So the year is 2013, the month is 3, there's a bunch of other stuff here. I took also age and sex, and we're going to be interested in the breakdown between males and females. So code for sex is 1 is male, 2 is female, and 9 is not in the universe. In other words, you don't have a sex. All right, let's go back and take a look at this. By the way, one of the reasons I looked at age is I restricted this to adults, people who are 25 years and older. So where's the data? Well, it's sitting in here, and we've got, first of all, we'll download the data, which is a data file, and I'm just going to save it to my download file, and also we're going to download this do file, and I'll explain what's going on with the do file in a moment. So we've got these things. Let's open up the data and learn a little bit about it. Okay, so here's the data set. We've got, we can summarize the data, get information on, as I said, year. Some things we'll ignore. It's the 3rd month. Age, I restricted it to adults 25 to 85, people of both sexes. Got a bunch of different education numbers here. Weeks worked, and of course these codes are described here, the labels, and usual hours worked per week. So we're going to have to do some things to this, and in order to do that, we're going to want to use a do file. But first, let's save stuff in a log, and I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to call it, let's change this to a log. Let's call this analyzing hours by sex and education, and we'll call this a log file. There we go. Okay, so now we're ready for the next step, which is to use our do file to do the actual analysis. So I'll see you in the next screencast.